Believed to have been born in 1924, Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi rose from humble beginnings as a teacher at the then Government African School in Baringo to become one of Africa's big men. Moi joined politics during the clamor for independence in the mid-1950s. His rise to power started when the founding father of the nation, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, appointed him as the Minister for Home Affairs in 1964 and as a Vice President in 1967, succeeding Joseph Murumbi. Coming from a minority tribe then, the Kalenjin community, Moi was considered a non-entity and weak by a cabal of powerful individuals around Kenyatta, which was keen to block him from succeeding the first president. His unquestionable loyalty to Mzee Kenyatta under the Nyayo philosophy of peace, love and unity that saw him traverse the country to defend Kenyatta from his opponents, political wit and Kenyatta's inability to groom a successor among the Kikuyu paid off for Moi, who became president after Kenyatta's death in 1978.
Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi.
Through the assistance of then Attorney General Charles Jonjo, Moi avoided a general election in 90 days after Mzee's death, ensuring a smooth transition to become president, scuttling the plans of those who were opposed to his ascent to the presidency. The 1982 coup attempt was Moi's first major test in power. Apart from executing the coup planners, Moi tightened his grip in power, banning political parties apart from the ruling party KANU, while reorganizing the armed forces as a new era of state repression, detention, and torture of his critics set in.
Daniel Arap Moi.
At the height of his rule in the 1980s, a political arm of the Kenya Police known as the Special Branch rounded up Moi's perceived enemies, among them prominent politicians like Kenneth Matiba and Charles Rubia, writers and university student leaders, among others, who were tortured at the infamous Nyayo torture chambers. Some died, others detained without trial, while others fled the country.
Kama yuko mtu ametukana mimi namsamehe. Na kama yuko mtu ambaye nimesema chochote ambaye kimeumiza roho yake unisamehe.
The fear created by Moi during his rule saw political sycophancy reach hypocritical levels, a broken down political system where secret ballot was replaced with a Mlolongo system, while those who were not members of the ruling party KANU, Baba and Mama, were proscribed as members of the underground Mwakenya movement. The death of former Foreign Affairs Minister Robert Ouko after falling out with Moi during a trip to Washington and the country's economic decline only served to blot Moi's reign as the country lost its reputation as one of Africa's most stable countries. Pressure from the West and the International Monetary Fund over economic reforms and the multi-million Goldenberg scandal that had devastating effects on the economy fueled the agitation not just for economic reforms, but multipartism that forced Moi to repeal Section 2A of the Constitution, allowing multi-party democracy.
Section ya katiba ya Kenya ya 2A. Kenya.
The former president, popularly known as Nyayo, is remembered for making Kenya an island of political stability in Africa, championing the Nyayo philosophy of peace, love and unity, saying he was following the founding father of the nation, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta's footsteps. Moi will also be remembered for introducing the 844 system of education in 1985, under which the milk-free program Maziwa ya Nyayo was introduced.
10 years later,
unlike some African leaders of his time, Moi will also be remembered for handing over power peacefully to his successor Mwai Kibaki after 24 years in power.
Fellow Kenyan, today I hand over the heavy burden of office.
However, outside politics, Moi was also a family man. He had 8 children: Gideon, now Senator for Baringo, Philip, Jemutai, the late Jonathan, June, John Mark, Raymond and Doris, Moi also stayed unmarried for the rest of his life after his divorce from his ex-wife Lena Moi in 1979. He was also known for his love for education, being a teacher at heart, as evidenced by his patronage of various schools around the country, as well as a free school milk program dubbed Maziwa ya Nyayo. Moi's sunset years in active politics eventually came to end after his two-term constitutionally allowed limit in 2002 that saw him nominate current President Uhuru Kenyatta as his successor, who lost to Moi Kibaki of NARC.
Yes.
This Nyayo monument here at Central Park in Nairobi perhaps symbolizes the huge influence the former president had on Kenyans' lives, whose impact will be felt for years to come. Apollo Kamau, K24 Evening Edition in Nairobi.